It's a warm welcome to this week's edition of Breeding to Win, where for a change I've stepped out the studio and travelled to the mother city, to one of the most beautiful stud farms in the Western Cape, Mutonshoek, situated in the Mutonshoek Valley, where many a fine horse has been produced and of course is horse country. With me, it is my pleasure to welcome to Breeding to Win, Benny van der Merwe, Dr. Benny van der Merwe. Benny, great to have you on the show, and thank you for allowing us to be part of Mutonshoek today.
Jules, thanks for coming. It's been overdue for you to come out of the office and come and see where we really ply our trade and where the lovely horses that you guys get to race with come from.
Thank you very much. And just tell us a little bit about the farm and how you acquired Mutonshoek. I know you're in partnership with a die-hard race goer, Chris Gerber, and the two of you have teamed up magnificently to produce some decent sorts.
I was a veterinarian in Kokstad in southern Natal when we had a little windfall in the family, and we decided to diversify in land in the Western Cape. We bought the original farm, Namakwaasfontein, as a fruit farming venture with my entire family, which I then established while I was doing part-time vetting with Ceres Veterinary Hospital. Shortly after that, I joined my neighbours over here, and we developed that farm. And then when the fruit farming got too big, I came back here to focus on fruit farming, which is exactly when Chris Gerber got hold of me and said, why can't I run my mares with yours? And we started with 5, and we planned to have 30, and the record will reflect that we've overachieved a little bit on that front.
Mutonshoek is generally a new stud. I mean, your first crop of yearlings were only sold on the National Yearling Sales in 2006, and it's grown over the last 6 years.
Yeah, I think through the enthusiasm of my partner and my ability to absorb his enthusiasm and share his enthusiasm, we have finally gotten to the number of 110 odd mares, and we stand the 2 stallions. So yes, I think we've overachieved.
You have the motto at Mutonshoek that the horse comes first, and when you look at the surroundings and the produce and the paddocks that you've kept your horses in, you can understand why.
Yeah, we started with the fruit, and we had pretty much the same motto because, as you can see, Julie, this is God's own country. It is proper horse country. It has a very moderate, ambient, average temperature because it can get hot here. But because of the proximity of the Atlantic Ocean at 23 kilometers, it cools down beautifully, no matter how hot it is. And nor does it get extremely cold. It is a very temperate climate, lots of limestone, lots of space, good water, good pastures.
So good horses.
Good horses, good horse country. The horse comes first.
You've been involved with horses your whole life. Was it always an ambition and a dream of yours to actually own a stud farm?
I suppose as a veterinarian and as a farm boy type, I grew up in Johannesburg, just like most people. It was a dream that I always had, but I didn't have a roadmap. So what happened to me is a fairy tale. It's a fairy tale come true, where as a young boy growing up in Joburg, I could finally really follow my passion. And with a partner like Chris Gerber, there's basically no end to how you can follow your passion.
Your mission is to breed top quality racehorses, and over the last couple of seasons you can actually feel your presence being felt among the top breeders in South Africa. Do you feel you're breeding a better quality horse of late?
Our results have been encouraging us all along the way, because the only way we could be competitive was with the strike rate, with the percentage winners to runners. And we have been in the top 3 in the last couple of years for that. And we knew what we bred to achieve that. Our horses running at the moment were bred at a time when we were still finding our way. We like to think that we're obviously starting to pick up some momentum and that everybody strives to do things better. And we know what's coming, what's going to be running for the Mutonshoek brand. And it fills us with a lot of pride and confidence.
Well, the stud's been taking off of late. You've got a whole host of broodmares now with top quality stallions. Only 2 of them, but both with fantastic pedigrees. Tell us about them.
Jules, I really do believe of all the blessings and luck that we got, those 2 will probably prove to be 2 of the big ones. Mambo in Seattle obviously is the one that's now got runners on the track, and that would be topical right now. In 2008, he was one of the top 3-year-olds in the USA. In fact, he's one of the top dozen 3-year-olds in the Northern Hemisphere. And he, having just basically lost by the nose in the Travers Stakes to Colonel John, and likely to win something big, he was unbuyable. Various South Africans tried to buy him and various North Americans tried to buy him. And they couldn't buy him, not for any money. They persisted with him because they knew he had a big Group 1 win in him. And in 2009, we all know the global financial crisis hit. By the time it got to 2010, and he'd run 2 lengths off Curlin in the Gold Cup, the Jockey Club Gold Cup, the world was a different place. People were running for cover. And when it was obvious that because of an injury he wasn't going to carry on running, we were very fortunate that there was a bloodstock agent in the office in Lane's End when the boss said that it was over for Mambo in Seattle, and through a series of phone calls and Jahan Malaba, the first cheeky offer was on the table within an hour and a half of this information, and the rest is history. We got him. We wanted to buy Marchfield at the time. We'd followed him like real stalkers since his 2-year-old career because he was stakes placed as a 2-year-old and he was a classic winner as a 3-year-old. So we followed him and we would inquire every 6 months as to his availability for purchase. And the owner breeder was just having too much fun and he just said, no, no, no. And one morning I read in Blood Horse that he'd had an injury when he was training for the Breeders' Cup Turf, where he was one of the favourites. And that he'd broken down, and I phoned my vet buddies and they said that he wouldn't race again. We made a substantial offer at the time on the horse, and basically the owner reneged on the deal. The then owner reneged on the deal, but then the word was out that Matansuk was in the market for a stallion, and that's exactly how we got to Mambo in Seattle. He then stood a season in Canada before the Canadian government decided to pull the slot machine revenues from the stakes pot, which basically tumbled the whole Canadian industry, breeding and racing, into chaos, which is how Philanthropist became available and how Marchfield became available. He supported him the 1 year and then pulled all his mares back into Florida, and basically by the 3rd season he realized that the only thing he could do, and he also got divorced. The reason they gave us at the time was that the wife liked the pedigree, and that's why they're keeping the stallion. He then divorced the wife, so I figured he just thought, oh, wife out, stallion out, let's go. It was a lucky moment again for us because, as you know, the Marchfields have sold for $470,000. That's more than 5 million rand in South African funds. People tease us a bit. They say we're kicking our can around the one corner of the whole thoroughbred family tree, but it's such a fine corner that we don't mind kicking our can. Obviously, we have shareholding in some of the top stallions, and we don't cover absolutely every mare on the farm with the 2 stallions, but they would be the backbone of our operation.
The Empress Palace 2-year-old sale takes place next week, the 13th, 14th and 15th of August, and each day starts at 10 o'clock in the morning. Now, I know Matansuk does have a couple of lots on the sale. Which ones can we look forward to seeing?
I would say that what happened to Mambo in Seattle through his daughter's same jurisdiction, getting that great Group 1 win for him at a time that couldn't have been better for us. You know, the type of horse that Mambo in Seattle is, one would expect them to be 3-year-olds, maybe 4-year-olds, more in the classic mold. So to get an absolute bonus of one of these few runners to go and win a Group 1 and a telling Group 1, beating 3 other Group 1 winning fillies, was very timeless. So obviously the emphasis at the 2-year-old sale for us is it would be the Mambo in Seattle's, of which we got a good number. We got about 7 or 8 of them, and one in particular, the son of Sugar Club, is a dead ringer for his father. Beautiful, big, scopy, correct horses that stand over ground and basically give you an idea. And then we've also got some of the other stallions represented, so we're bullish.
Obviously, always a good sale to bar off, Benny, because even though you get quality horses, you're not paying ridiculous prices.
Oh, absolutely, and it's a sale for everybody, and I do believe that most people, vendors, will get their price, because one doesn't come to a sale like that with an absolutely unrealistic expectation of what would be fair value. It's a sale where people can buy at the right price and people can sell at the right price. And if people are realistic with their expectations, everybody should be happy.
You're also very involved in the African Horse Sickness Committee. Just tell us a little bit about the progress of the African horse sickness in South Africa.
For me, I think the biggest progress is going to be that on the 11th, we being industry veterinarians, myself and Dr. Bev Parker, are going to be having a very big meeting with all the state role players, which is really for us all to have success. If the state and us find each other and we could go forward together to make this dream of everybody, because we all know about the Olympic bid, and the Olympic bid is for the national government, it's for the people of South Africa. and we need to find each other, and I really do believe that on Monday we will. I think that would be the first big step towards, other than the results of the import-export workshop, which is, it's been published. But the next step is that we're going to go into and form a horse import-export task team, which is a joint venture between state and industry.
Benny, thank you very much for affording the Breeding to Win team your time out at Motonshoek today, and we wish you, the farm, and Chris Haber all the very best for the future, and may your success grow from strength to strength.
Thank you very much, Jules.
Another stud that has some top individuals on this year's Empress Palace National 2-year-old sales is Himmel and Ada. The Breeding to Win team caught up with David Hepburn Brown.
I've got quite a big draft because I've got a numerous agent horses as well, but I've got 26 horses here in total. Quite a mixed lot of stallions. I've got Aladas, I've got Nashawis, Toreador. I've got Rock of Rochelles, who sold very well through this year, and he's been well received for his first crop at sales. And I think I've got horses for everyone. I've got quite a mixed lot of horses, but there's some very nice horses amongst them. Lot 487 is a Rock of Rochelle colt out of a Joshua Dancer mare. He's a very nice colt. He looks very racy. Looks like a colt that will come quite quickly. He might not be the strongest on paper on the female side, but he is a very good specimen and a good representative for Rock of Rochelle. Lot 353 is a Rock of Rochelle filly out of an Australian mare. It looks like quite a quick sort of family. The filly looks quick. The mare's already produced a winner, and her next horse, JPEG, has run numerous places. This is a filly with a lot of substance and looks like it could be a very nice buy. Lot 489 is also a Rock of Rochelle filly out of a very speedy family, out of a mare by Super Magic. She's had 2 runners, 2 winners. She won 5 races over 1,000 metres. Both of her progeny so far have won over 1,000 metres. This is a lovely filly with lots of scope and looks like she will have a magnificent action and looks like she'll fly. Lot 501 is a Meteor Shah filly. Meteor Shah is a son of Dan Hill. He never really has had a great opportunity, and out of the few mares he's had that have actually gone to, the progeny that have gone to race, they haven't done too badly. This filly is a full sister to a winner who won her 2nd start. She's only had 4 starts. She's got a half brother who's won 8 races, Deliver the Power. And this is a very nice filly and with a lot of scope, and also looks like she could be quick. Lot 514 is a filly by Elusive Fort. He's also turning out to be a very exciting new stallion that is producing winners. This is also a very nice filly. And then I also have an Ashawi's colt, 469, who's a big strapping colt and out of a Captain Al mare, who's worth looking at. We look forward to showing you the horses down here at H Block. Please feel free to come down anytime.
New Turf Carriers is a family-run business owned by Mark and Dorrie Sham and their three sons, Michael, Matthew and Marcus. New Turf Carriers has been in long-distance transport since 1995 and pride themselves in excellent service, punctuality and loyalty to their clients. Every single stud farm and every single sale to every single racecourse, New Turf Carriers pride themselves in delivering your horse safely. The welfare of your horse is paramount, and it is to this end that we have our own midway stop between Johannesburg and Cape Town. This is situated at Colesberg, where we have a stabling facility for 60 horses, so that the horses on long trips can get off and have a rest during their journey. The bottom line is, New Turf Carriers take your horse from door to door with pride, passion and punctuality.
With the breeding season just around the corner, we take a look at a couple of other stallions on tonight's show, including the Klavervleis well-bred and classy young stallion, Oracy, son of champion sire Zabil. He won his first 5 races in a row from 1450 to 2000 metres, including the Grade 2 Gauteng Guineas and the Grade 2 Gauteng Dingaans. This is his profile.
Into the last 200 now. Captain Scott Oracy is coming home strongly. Oracy coming home powerfully in one scintillating win. Oracy has won the London News Stakes.
Now in front, Oracy ducks to the outside, Royal Rares in the middle, mounted Cerise Cherry on the chase on the far side. It's Oracy in front from Royal Rares, who's trying to wear it down. On the far side, Cerise Cherry mounted as they go down to the line. Oh, it's close, I think, Cerise Cherry. Under in gold, Cerise Cherry in the middle is looking to run on. Oracy Sporting Boy got into trouble about a length off the leader. Captain's table now, Cerise Cherry on the far side as Oracy Sporting Boy is looking to come out of the pack now, but it's Oracy. Oracy on the far side fights on. Oracy under Christophe Simeon won it.
I think for the South African racing, he will be a good horse. He's a very nice horse. He will be much better on longer distance, I think. So you will see him again and again in the winning enclosure, I'm sure.
Oracy's career started with a bang. He won 5 from 5, which included the Dingaans and the Gauteng Guineas, both Group 1 events in earlier days. Oracy being by the mighty Zabil, the sire of 43 individual Group 1 winners to date, was presumed to be a stayer by his connections. Not so. Absolutely not so. His mother, by Speedside De Heer, won 4 races from 800 to 1200 meters and was regarded as the flying filly. She showed so much speed. The most pleasing aspect of Oracy's yearlings is how well they were received by the racing public. They are well grown, very well balanced horses, and all of them show wonderful athletic ability in their walk. One of our most respected judges of yearlings, Linton Ryan, had an Oracy colt from the Alchemy in his top 3 at Nationals this year. The colt was bought by Gavin van Zyl for an international client at a grand prize of 400,000 rand.
Demosthenes down the inside, on the outside is Regal Force, between them is Farfie, Demosthenes, Farfie, and on the outside Regal Force. Demosthenes is going to win it. Demosthenes has won it. Regal Force second.
Outstanding. we always rated Odyssey. I think a lot of us did rate him. Well-bred horse. I don't think he reached his full potential because of injury problems and maybe he needed gelding. So if you'd like to follow the horses we know as well, Claverflay, obviously everyone knows they do a fantastic job. To John and Grant Knowles and all the directors of Claverflay, thanks very, very much. And I think he's going to be a stallion worthwhile watching.
Cape Town last second or no. So number 14, All Is Secret, is victorious. Well Witcher.
And for the lads won it. Shay takes the lead. Shay wins the Elgos.
Philanthropist is a big, strong son of Chris S., the son of Epsom Derby winner Roberto, and in his own right a champion sire in Canada. He now stands at the Rupert's Drakenstein stud.
Drakenstein, Claverflay Stud, Highland Stud Farm, and the leading breeders in South Africa joined forces to acquire the Canadian champion classic sire Philanthropist. American stallion analyst and statistical guru Bill Oppenheim said that Philanthropist is a real standout sire and a huge gain for South Africa. As at June 2014, Philanthropist is ranked 13th amongst the sires in the Northern Hemisphere in a list headed by Warfront and Galileo. He is only marginally behind Dynaformer, Monjou, Dubawi, and stands ahead of champion sires Smart Strike, Giant's Causeway, Tappet, Oasis Dream, Bernardini, and many of the world's other top sires. Philanthropist's first two crops in Canada produced 6 individual stakes winners from just 51 foals. This world-class 11.7 ratio of stakes winners to foals is well above the international 10% benchmark for champion sires. Philanthropist's first crop of just 26 foals included 2 champions. The $1 Million Classic winner Pender Harbour, who won 2 legs of the Canadian Triple Crown, the Breeders' Stakes and Prince of Wales Stakes. Pender Harbour was listed among the 10 highest ratings in North America, and the 2013 Sovereign Award for champion sprinter Phil's Dream. Having won the Grade 1 Nearctic Stakes in fine fashion last season, his 2013 sprint champion son, Phil's Dream, became Brisnet's 3rd top-rated sprinter and 4th top-rated horse overall in North America after his 2014 Ontario Jockey Club Stakes victory. And Philanthropist's incredible strike rate with stakes winners didn't stop with his first 2 crops. He has upped his game even further now, with 97 runners, which include his current 2-year-olds. He now has 58 winners out of 161 races, and 13.6% stakes horses who have earned him over $10 million. His current crop of 2-year-olds this season include the stakes-winning filly FBI, who won the Nandi Stakes in a canter at Woodbine on Sunday the 3rd of August.
And after a thorough investigation, trainer Bob Tillard's fingerprints are all over the Nandi winner, FBI.
Philanthropist was a smart racehorse and a consistent performer. He won 6 races and put his name in highlights, beating Jockey Club Gold Cup winner Evening Attire. Philanthropist is a son of Chris S., one of Roberto's finest sire sons, and one of the best stallions to stand in North America in the past 2 decades. Chris S. sired 5 Breeders' Cup winners, as well as Epsom Derby winner Chris Kinn. Chris S.'s fame also lives on as broodmare sire of the legendary Zenyatta, and he is also the sire of Arch. The Roberta male line is well known in South Africa through his incredible son Al Mufti and his superb sire sons Captain Al and Victory Moon. Of further interest to South African breeders is that one of Philanthropist champion sons, Phil's Dream, is out of a mare by Key Danzig's full brother Emperor Jones. They are sons of Danzig, the sire of National Assembly. National Assembly and Philanthropist share the same dam line, which presents us with incredible opportunities. Philanthropist Dam Hidden Reserve was a high-class 2-year-old and produced the Grade 1 performer Defer. She is a daughter of international multiple champion sire Mr. Prospector, who has topped the international broodmare sires list 9 times. Philanthropist's second dam, Pure Profit, is a well-known blue hen and daughter of major X Factor broodmare sire Key to the Mint, and she produced 2 Grade 1 winners, the champion Inside Information and the champion American filly Smuggler. This is the family that produced the great sires What a Pleasure, Sovereign Dancer and National Assembly. One of South Africa's top sires of the past 20 years, grandsire of the 2013 Equus International Horse of the Year, Shay Shay, and the sire of Soft Falling Rain, jointly rated 3rd highest sprinters in the world in 2013. Philanthropist is one of a handful of stallions who have it all: pedigree, racetrack performance, and most importantly, success at stud. He represents a rare opportunity for breeders in South Africa to use a big, strong, scopy stallion, free of the all-prevailing Northern Dancer blood. His first yearlings will be on sale in 2015. He stands at Drakenstein Stud Farm and is managed by John Freeman.
The Cape Breeders' Award was held at Kenilworth Racecourse on Thursday night. Grant Knowles was there and tells us more.
The Cape Breeders Racing Awards took place at Kenilworth Racecourse on Thursday, the 7th of August, where the top Cape bred and trained horses were awarded for their outstanding achievement in the 2013 to 2014 season. Master of Ceremonies Ravon Smith led the proceedings and welcomed Western Cape Racing Association Chairman Vidrick Thurling for the opening address.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Many years ago, whilst talking about the potential ability of an unraced 2-year-old that our trainer had told us could catch pigeons, a very good friend of mine said to me, he was a partner in the horse at the time, that it's only when the gates crash open that the speculation and the nonsense stops, and that's when fantasy turns into reality. Well, tonight classically underlines the point that he was making. For 12 months, we have debated, we have wagered, and speculated. Tonight, we celebrate the facts and we reward our champions. And the facts are that during the past season, South Africa staged 34 Group 1 races, and a phenomenal, staggering 32 of them, 94%, were won by Cape bred horses. And for the first time in 10 years, South Africa's champion breeders are from the Western Cape. Once again, Cape trainers came to the fore, taking the largest slice of the Grade 1 action, with more than 38% of Grade 1 races going to Cape-trained horses. And amongst those, the Big Four, the Met, the Durban July, the Gold Cup, and the Queen's Plate, in no particular order. And for the first time in 24 years, South Africa's champion trainer hails from the Cape. And for good measure, the best 4 international racehorse performances by South African horses, all 4 horses were either bred and or owned by Cape studs or Cape owners. And this includes no less than the 2nd highest rated horse globally and perhaps the best miler in the world today. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. On with the business.
Let's get straight into the awards. Cape Racing Awards for 2013 to 2014 Juvenile Male of the Year was Africa Burn. Juvenile Filly of the Year was Rosia. 3-year-old male of the year was Legislate. 3-year-old filly of the year is In the Fast Lane. Champion older male Cape Town Noir. Champion older female and champion sprinter went to Fly By Night. Champion middle distance was Legislate. The award for champion stayer goes to Hot Ticket. The Western Province Groom School Work Rider of the Year was William Bambiso. Cape Apprentice of the Year goes to Xavier Carstens. The Cape Jockey of the Year was Richard Fareed.
Yeah, I just want to say well done to everybody here tonight. You know, it's one of those moments in life that you cherish the most, chasing those goals, and yeah, I'm just pleased to be here. And then obviously to my team, Justin, Jono, old man, you know, all great. And then, you know, to the people behind the scenes, Judy, Justin Andrews, Giselle, you know, without them, this is impossible. And also, obviously, all the other trainers, thanks for the support, and to the main guys, the owners. Without you, this is not possible at all. So, thank you very much.
Cape Trainer of the Year goes to Justin Snaith.
I just want to start and as Richard said, congratulate everybody in this room, the breeders, the trainers, the owners, the jockeys. When you're in the field, as I say, like it's a battle, when these big races are happening, it is so hard, it's so tough, so much can go wrong. So I think it just shows how fantastic Cape racing is to accomplish what it has. But I don't think we could ever have not done it without the help of the Western Cape breeders. I think it is just amazing at the quality of horses that you produce in South Africa and around the world. But what I would like to say tonight is to my team, my family, and everybody here, just thanks so much for the support. It's been a real roller coaster of a season with the highest highs and the lowest lows. When I started, they said I could never be champion trainer from Philippi. Well, we proved that wrong. Then they said I could never be champion trainer of South Africa from Cape Town. Well, we've proved that wrong. So I'm just so proud to be from Cape Town, and as I said, it's just for everyone behind me, how hard we work to accomplish these impossible goals. I thank you, and this award is for you. But most importantly, I have a rule that I like to keep when I go to Durban for the season, and that's whoever goes up there with me comes home. And that for me is very much like you would know with the American Army and things like that, you never leave a man behind. And sadly this season that happened, and that was very upsetting for me because I could never help these horses that were obviously tragically lost in a road accident. So most importantly, on behalf of my staff and everyone that's associated to the stable, we dedicate this to those horses that lost their lives and to the person that was on board the float. So you know, that to me is the most important thing. And to thank you all for coming out here tonight in this cold winter. Thank you so much. I'm getting married in September, and I just want to say to my fiance and future wife, you're perfect for the family because you obviously have a good eye for a great young colt. good confirmation, dodgy breeding, but I look forward to our long life together.
Exceptional Achievements Awards went to Variety Club and Snaith Racing. Horse of the Year over here, a big award goes to Legislate. Owner of the Year goes to Mr. and Mrs. Jooste.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, I would like to obviously congratulate each and everyone that were nominated tonight. Because to win is wonderful, but to participate in this wonderful sport that we all enjoy so much, of the thoroughbred horse, because we must never forget that that's what it's all about. But I want to really just make use of the opportunity to thank Kenilworth Racing, Pumalela, the RA and what we all have together here. I think Vidrik touched on it earlier tonight. Not many credit is given to the guys here in the Western Cape, what they've done to save racing in this province, and what they have achieved to have finessed this deal so that we can all have this wonderful time together in probably one of the greatest racing centers in the world. And by having increase in stakes, look at this wonderful venue where we are tonight, we have nothing to complain about. Sales is up, the breeders are doing well. You've heard what the statistics are about the Western Cape breeders, so I will rather say nothing about that because for Natal I've got no visa. I'm not even allowed into the place. But nevertheless, this is a wonderful evening and let's all enjoy. And always remember that at the end, it's all about this wonderful animal, the equine horse that we all love so much. Thank you very much.
So now it's time to move on to the second half of this evening's proceedings, and before we get into the nitty-gritty of it, it gives me great pleasure to call upon the chairman of the Cape Breeders' Club to say a few words. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Vaughan Coster.
Thank you, Vaughan. It's rather daunting standing up here after the proceedings that we've had already. The Cape Breeders' Club is privileged to share the awards evening with the Western Cape Racing Association. Vidrik, to you and your team, we thank you for all your hard work. For the breeders tonight is about crowning the champions for the 2013-2014 season. This business, as Justin alluded to, is not without its highs and lows. And one has to enjoy and appreciate all the highs you get. Tonight is all about the highs.
The Cape Breeders' Awards for 2013 and 2014 2-year-old Colt of the Year goes to Africa Burn. 2-year-old Filly of the Year goes to Carry On Alice. The award for 3-year-old Colt goes to Legislate. The award for 3-year-old Filly goes to Athena. Champion Older Male goes to Yorker. The award for Champion Older Female and Champion Sprinter of the Year goes to Via Africa. Champion Middle Distance will go to Legislate. Champion Stayer of the Year goes to Hot Ticket. Broodmare of the Year goes to Star of Arkol. Stallion of the Year goes to Jetmaster. Outstanding New Stallion Award goes to Lateral. Breeder of the Year goes to Claverflay Stud.
John, you've just been crowned Champion Cape Breeder for the Cape Awards. Congratulations.
Cheers, Grant. Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about it. Obviously, it's been a massive transition in terms of a small stud growing into what it is today.
It has been, you know, as I said earlier on, we started off, we were going to be a boutique little stud of 30 mares. And in those prolific words, all hell broke loose about 6 years ago. And, you know, our oldest horses are 5-year-olds since we started the campaign. And, yeah, we're extremely proud of what they've achieved.
You've become national champions as well with Claverflay Stud. Now, you've mentioned in your address as well that there were only 7 farms before that. One of them was Coster Brothers. But how does it feel to be on your own with Claverflay?
Well, I never ever thought that it would ever happen to me again. In the days when we were Coster Brothers, I was so poor I couldn't afford the flight to get to Johannesburg to go and accept the award. And my uncle Wilfred, who was sort of heading Coster Brothers in those days, you know, he represented us. But to be able to do it now under my grandfather's farm's name, Claverflay, is very, very special, and especially so with the directors and partners that I have. They are special, special guys.
Horse of the Year will go to Legislate.
What our dreams are made of is a horse like Legislate. This is what we do, and this is what gets us up in the morning every single day. That's what we strive to breed a horse like Legislate. To emulate that, that's going to be a different story, of course. But It's quite an emotional position for me, and it's an emotional evening for me.
International Horse of the Year award goes to Variety Club.
It's been the most amazing ride, Grant. I don't know what to say. You know, we've got 30 mares on the farm, and all of a sudden this one props out, and it's just like, wow! It's just like, how high can you go with one horse? And we've gone high, and it's been amazing. Brilliant.
An outstanding breeder of the year goes to Carl and Amanda de Vos.
For everybody, it's a dream. This has been an amazing year for me and Amanda personally. You know, we've had only 11 runners, and we produced 3 Group 1 winners, or we won 3 Grade 1 races. And we've had lots of seconds. Jetta Glow ran 3 times second in Group 1s, and I think she ran twice second in Group 2. So yeah, it's amazing. Yorker, he's a special horse. I'm actually, you know, he's done it the hard way. He's done it not in conditions races. He's taken on the best. He's won the biggest race in Joburg, and that day specifically was very nice for us. But the Oaks, I think for a breeder that's amazing to win the Oaks, and for a mare to produce 3 Oaks winners. I have not heard of one in South Africa, and I'd like to hear if another mare has done that in the world. So I think everything said and done, that's special. To me, that's special. I love that mare. I have to admit that I once took her to a sale and tried to sell her. I didn't get a bid, so I had to bring her back. But that's horses. That's what makes it so interesting.
Justin, firstly, from the Breeding to Win team, congratulations on becoming champion trainer.
Thank you very much, Grant.
Obviously, it's a big effort. You've got a massive string here in the Western Cape, but then also Eastern Cape plays a vital part.
Yes, very much so. I mean, we've got such a fantastic team in every province, and looking forward to now probably opening up in Joburg soon. So it's been hard. It's been very hard. So just so glad to be acknowledged by your peers and things like that. There's just such great trainers here in the Western Cape. You know, guys that are second generation trainers, and just so honoured to to have them here and enjoy the moment. And as I said, it's a hard game. It's such a hard game, and just glad to have had the season that we have had.
Highlight of your season, what would it be?
Highlight of the season would definitely be probably Legislate in general, the horse, not just the race that he won, but just to see him grow, and in probably the most competitive group of horses. The 3-year-old colts were so strong. There was a lot of talk that they weren't up to it, but when you saw like Futura and horses like that, to know that you got a horse that's just not the champion 3-year-old, but probably one of the stronger crops. So very excited for the future.
Plans going forward in terms of your young stock, are you quite confident in terms of going forward for next year that you can retain the title?
I am. I have very good young horses, but what I've realized now is that they come from everywhere. That horse that could be the slowest horse in your yard, the one that the guys are chasing down the track every day to get out of a half pace, that could be one day your champion. So I don't know where it's going to come from, but I know it's there, and it might be on. You never know. In this game, there's surprises all the time, and that's what we live for. And it could be the 5,000 Rand horse, or it could be the 5 million Rand horse. It doesn't matter, but I just hope that it's there, and if it's there, I will find it.
John, it's turned out to be a fantastic evening for your crew. Let's talk about your stallions first, because they've been right up there in the headlines.
Oh yeah, I'm so proud. Africa Burn Trippy, 2-year-old colt of the year. Carry On Alice Capnell, 2-year-old filly of the year. Legislate champion, 3-year-old horse of the year in both categories, owners and breeders. Well done to all the winners, and wow, to bring Trainer of the Year back to the Cape with Justin Snaith and his team, what a dream. And well, you know, I think for me to be associated with guys like Klavervlei and having them win Breeder of the Year after all these years, and what a contribution Captain Al made with Hill 54 winning the Met, Carry On Alice. Yeah, a good year all round. Acknowledging the achievement of your peers in racing is the most important thing you can possibly do, and they did it all tonight. I think.
John, last question for you. highlight of the season for you? Obviously, some big races, your stallions did well, the whole international scene was fantastic, but what topped it for Freeman and Freeman Stallions?
Futura. No, but that's subjective, forgive me.
Gavel House is the leading website for trading horses online. Selling your racehorse, mare or even a share in a yearling is so easy on Gavel House. You can browse our sires directory to match the best mating for your mare, with text description, videos and up-to-date sires reports. Gavelhouse.com is the best way to sell your horse. We reach places others can't, where buyers and sellers deal direct and pay no commission. Go to gavelhouse.com.
The first of the two horses from Gavel House this evening is the unraced Kalani by Cahal out of Stella Mia. She's a 2012 filly going for 150,000 Rand, a quality filly from a 4-times winner and stakes performer. If you are interested, contact Warwick Render, an outstanding opportunity for a well-topped, strong-quartered 2-year-old filly by Cahal. The second horse on offer is True Master, who is the winner of the East Cape Derby, trained by Justin Snaith, a 2009 gelding by Jetmaster out of Bushra, going for 300,000 Rand. If you're interested in getting involved in True Master, contact Jonathan Snaith from the Western Cape. Well, that brings this week's show to an end. Don't forget to join us next week, where we will bring you all the Equus Awards winners. Of course, the Equus Awards will be held next Wednesday, the 13th of August, out at Empress Palace. Until then, from myself, Julie Alexander, and the rest of the Breeding to Win team, good night.